Today's program is going to introduce you to one more idea generation tool, and it's quite different from the previous ones because it makes use of pictures rather than words. Now, a lot of people like to use pictures to explain their new ideas, but in this program we're going to do the opposite. We're going to use pictures to help us create new ideas. Today's tool is called Visually Identifying Relationships. We call it VIR for short, and it builds on the fact that pictures can help us see the world in very different ways. In order to use VIR, you're going to need to find a handful of interesting images. This can take a little while, so we're going to describe how to use the tool and then let you experiment with it once you've found some suitable pictures. The first step for using VIR is to find some pictures. 5 or 6 should be fine. But what sort of pictures should you be looking for? Well, it doesn't really matter what the pictures show, so long as they don't relate to the problem and are quite different from each other. Probably the easiest way to find interesting images is to look through some old magazines and pull out the ones that catch your eye. Once you've found your pictures, put them to one side. The next step is very simple. Look out of the window for a while and let your mind wander. Don't think about the problem. In fact, don't think about anything. Just look. Once you feel as though you've let your mind go blank, pick up your pictures, one at a time, and write down any words that come to mind as you look at the images. As always, it's very important to delay your judgment. Finally, take the list of words and phrases, which you wrote down, and think about how each of them connects to your problem. Let's look at an example using our play problem. How might we get really fit? We've selected a photograph of a sunflower. Looking at the picture makes us think of summertime, insects, the color yellow, and farms. Taking each of those phrases, we connect them with our problem and come up with ideas such as getting a part-time job on a farm so that we could get fit and earn some money, or concentrating all our fitness training when the weather is nicest, or even painting our home a really unpleasant color so that we'll always want to get away from it. VIR is similar to forced connections, but it takes advantage of all the amazing mental associations that come from looking at interesting pictures. Using the tool requires a little bit of effort, but it's a great way to escape from your current view of the problem. So, you've now tried using basic brainstorming and 4 other idea generation tools. Hopefully, you had fun dreaming up the ideas, but the more important question is, did the tools help? And to answer that question, you have to review your list of ideas. Do you think the tools stretched your mind in new directions? Do you think you invented ideas which you wouldn't have expected to come up with? Most people find that these simple Divergent tools really help to extend their creativity. We hope they worked for you too. By the way, don't worry if you think many of your new ideas aren't workable. We'll be looking at how to turn ideas into solutions in a later program. Okay, enough talk about getting fit. It's time to focus on you again. We'd like you to go back to your list of invention problems and select one to work with. We want you to practice divergent thinking using the tools that we covered in these programs. And just as a reminder, the tools were brainstorming, scamper, forced connections, portable think tank, and visually identifying relationships. See you in the next program.